Alright guys, welcome back. You're listening to Vol as usual. We're into game 4 now at the Battlecry tournament, and up against Ultramarines. It wouldn't really be a true Warhammer 40,000 tournament without the appearance of the Ultramarines, the most generic, the most stock standard of the Space Marines, the chapters. And this guy has just what you'd expect: Land Raider, rhinos and so forth. The only weird thing is that he's using Lysander as his commander, and Lysander's meant to be the Imperial Fist special character, but he's painted his guys up as Ultramarines, so yeah, whatever. I mean, just a game after all. I mean, nobody takes it too seriously, so it certainly didn't bother me. Anyway, one weird thing about the mission for this game is that there are 5 objectives, one in the center, which we've got this little dragon statue to represent, and then 2 on, both sides of the battlefield. So you have 2 objectives on each sort of flank of your own deployment zone, and 2 on the opponent's deployment zone, one in the center. Now, initially, none of the objectives actually allow you to score, but as the game progresses, every time a unit or vehicle or independent character dies, or monster or whatever, you check to see which objective is the nearest, and then you add a point to it, and if you control that particular objective at the end of the game, you get a number of, victory point or scenario points equal to the number of points that are on it. So, depending on where the carnage is, that's where, the objective is going to be of interest as well. So here's me just deployed in a big long line and ready to get started. Next photo shows you his stuff. He's got the Predator with a whole bunch of scouts behind the building, and it's got a Devastators there with a couple of rocket launchers, heavy bolter, plasma cannon. He's actually got the Stern Guard and a Rhino and the Grey Rhino in the center. I haven't actually faced those guys before. They've got a few different types, they can shoot. So it'll be interesting. Next image, just doing some scout moves with the Vendettas, as you'd expect, just flapping around there. Really quite enjoying these top-down photography shots, just because the top of the Vendettas look quite impressive. But yeah, not very much terrain, as I pointed out at the start of the video coverage, and it really does benefit me a lot, because my army is just a pure gun line, just as much shooting as you possibly can get, mechanically, armor-wise. So it does benefit me greatly. Next image, just rolling out first turn, crunching my way over the this big altar of chaos or whatever it is, and fortunately not rolling any ones for my dangerous terrain for the vehicles, and then the shooting will begin. Next photo, he has rushed out with his Rhino in response. Actually, I can't quite remember what the situation was here, but he's gunning for that middle objective with the Stern Guard, so very brave of them. They're going to be up against a lot of firepower, but, the Emperor's chosen, know no fear, as they say. Next image, cracked his Land Raider straight away with the Bastion Breacher shells, I believe it was, or might have been the last cannons, can't quite remember. I got lucky and blew them up. And unfortunately, apparently Terminators aren't immune to pinning, or if they are immune to pinning, then this particular player didn't know, and neither did I, because I'm not really a regular 40k player. But Terminators pinned, Lysander and all of his Terminators just stuck there, so that will be hugely beneficial for me as the game progresses. Next photo, just a bit of a pan out here. I'm really having to contend with just this one squad of Marines in the cover on the right-hand side. Once my Chimeras make it over to there, I should be able to just spam some heavy flamers and melter gun shots on them and eventually kill them all. And then the plan is just to camp that objective after wiping them all out and getting a couple of points. Next photo, Ultramarines turn to respond, everything running forward, well, not everything, the Devastators just hunkering down and shooting at the Vendettas, but quite a cool photo this. You can see the amassed firepower that they're up against, and losing all their vehicles is bad, because it means that they are really sitting ducks against all this firepower. The middle objective has actually gone to 1 point due to the death of that Rhino in the center, so the Stern Guard would like to capture it, but they've got many turns of shooting to withstand and not really any cover to jump into. Next image, my response here obviously is to start surrounding him, shooting at a lot of different things here, popping Terminators if possible. Fortunately, he's got the Thunderhammer Storm Shield combo, so 3+ saves all round, and just really gunning at him as much as I can. This Vendetta in the foreground has been stunned, it's had a 1 rolled, so shaken or whatever it is, and lost one of its sets of las cannons, so limited firepower here. One thing I've done this game, which I don't normally do, is to stack one of my infantry squads in the Vendetta at the back, holding that in reserve, because I know that there'll be a situation where I have to actually fly them 24 inches to contest an objective later on, and I want that capability because it'll be quite important. Next photo, my opponent having a bit of bad luck here. After I wasted, 8 out of 10 of his Marines hanging out in the little bushes here, they failed the morale check. For some reason I always thought the Space Marines were immune to morale checks or something like that. I don't really read the rules very carefully or have a very good memory for this game, but apparently I'm told that these guys flee as normal, and they ran right towards the edge of the table. Never to be seen again. I think he actually ended up either fleeing off because the Vendetta was too close or something like that, or they got shot, can't quite remember. Next image, Lysander and his boys reduced to 3 Terminators plus the special character himself, hanging around inside the area terrain, and he's got 4 Stern Guard now, which are doing what they can to crack multi-gun shots at my Chimera, but without success. So that's what's happening there. In the right-hand side, you can see the Chimera with the platoon command squad in it with melter-guns. They're trying to get through the Storm Shield combination, but they can't quite manage to crack all the Terminators. Next photo, I just want to sort of talk about a situation that has cropped up here. Although I'm clearly in an advantageous situation, having destroyed half his army at this point without taking any losses, it does mean that the death of his units are adding to the value of the objectives on his side of the table, which is really, really important, because I can't just hang back on my deployment stone and shoot. If I do that, he'll be left with 1 or 2 squads, but they'll get all of the victory points at the end of the game. So I've had to actually fly a Vendetta right onto the terrain within 3 inches of the objective and contest it, luckily passing a dangerous terrain check. Propped up with the Circle of Rose faction deck cards, by the way, and my Chimera trying to drive on and do the same thing, but rolling a 1 and mobilizing itself, so the Guardsmen pouring out and trying to go for it. Shooting everything I can at the Devastator squad, but passing all of their armor saves and cover checks. So this is getting to become a real pickle, because on the right-hand side of the table, the Terminators are still contesting the objective that is of most value. He's got guys in the ruins here which are contesting this objective, and the Stern Guard haven't actually been eliminated from the centre, plus my squads are actually a little bit too far away. So getting very nervous here, because if the game ends at turn 5, it will actually be a draw. Next photo, I have swooped in with my infantry squad in the Vendetta, landing right next to the objective, but later on in the turn, unbelievably, the Demolisher fires a big pieplate demolisher shell onto Lysander. It misses and scatters onto the Vendetta, blowing it up and pinning all of the Imperial Guardsmen next to the objective, to be sitting ducks for the Terminators. So that was really unlucky. But, if I can just get to another turn, I've got several Chimeras just to move up and get that objective. So let's see how it goes. Next photo, luckily the game hasn't ended, so I've got one Vendetta having lost a weapon in the ruins here, with the Imperial Guard moving in. If he assaults the Imperial Guardsman, it means that the Vendetta will still be around, and that he won't be able to shoot it, so he's chosen not to do that, although had I been in his position, I would have been basically swamping this area with everything I had and assaulting with everything I had as well, because that would mean that he'd be able to get the 2 points and then increase it to 3 or 4 points afterwards, and really get a big lead on me. Next image, Lysander killing all but 3 of these Imperial Guardsmen with the help of his Terminators, and miraculously they passed their morale check, which was terrible for me because it meant I couldn't actually shoot them in the next turn. So although I had a tank nearby to contest the objective or to hold it with the 4 points there, Lysander himself is actually preventing me from doing anything. Next image, he is indeed swarming the objective here, but my opponent actually making some mistakes here and actually just shooting some casual shots, left and right at various different unimportant targets, without actually doing any serious assaulting. So I'm still contesting this objective. He hasn't been able to hold it. We're in turn 6 now and looking like going to a 7th. Next photo, Lysander has been left out in the open after destroying the Imperial Guardsmen. And I think he did crack one of my tanks, but this company command squad here with the plasma guns ready to take off his last few wounds. Next photo, that is indeed what happens. We do end up going to a 6th or 7th turn or whatever it was. Lysander gets shot at by my entire army, all of the autocannons, las cannons, plasma guns, melter guns you can think of. Finally rolled enough ones, and I sent a veteran squad from an immobilized Chimera over to claim the objective with 5 points on it. Next photo, just to continue the game for a bit of fun, I moved in with an Imperial Guard Flamer, and it just burnt about 5 or 6 scouts plus Marines. And that was it. The game ended with me firmly in control of the objectives. It was a fairly poorly played game by me, even though I had the luck on my side and I shot him to death. I just didn't plan ahead, and it was only thanks to passing the continuation of game roll to get to turn 6 that I managed to win it. If not, it would have been a draw. So I felt a bit silly about that, but at least I got the win at the end. Let's see how game 5 goes.